This week, we're going to go over stashable prospects, 2-start pitchers, and high upside players just begging to be added off your league's waiver wire. We are still so early into the season that we need to make sure every move counts and we stay on top of that waiver wire. We want every possible advantage we can get over our league mates, and I'll be here to help guide you through it. I'm Kris. I appreciate everyone tuning back in. Both my baseball videos have now over 1,000 views each, which is absolutely insane. So thank you for that. And if you're new, hello, welcome to Number 2 Sports, and get ready for some of the nastiest, I mean nastiest wiffle ball clips in all of YouTube. So first up, we have Bubba Chandler, the 2021 third-round pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chandler is looking even more dominant than he did last year when he was a consensus top 5 pitching prospect, which just shows you how good he's throwing the baseball this year. He's averaging 98.2 miles per hour on his fastball, and one pitch topped out at 101.5 miles per hour this year. 101. And we all know I love dudes that chuck gas. He clearly has an elite fastball, and he has a sweeping slider that he absolutely puts batters away with. He's cutting down his walks, which is a great sign because we know young pitchers can tend to struggle with their control. And if we look at Paul Skeens' timeline of last year and assume the Pirates follow a similar trajectory for him, we can expect the call-up to be around May 1st. Now, obviously, we don't know for sure if it's going to be May 1st. I can't see into the future. Because, you know, if I could, I would have told my dad 30 years ago that no, I'm not being a Dallas Cowboys fan. But I'm not a quitter. I'm loyal. Go Cowboys. They're getting one home soon. I know it. But anyways, back to baseball. Bubba Chandler has ace written all over him. I think he'll be dominant right from the start. He's going to be a high upside strikeout player. And with him and Skeens in the Pirates rotation, they're going to be laughing for years to come. We want to go grab Chandler now before he gets called up and beat all your league mates to him. I think this guy should be rostered universally. So go pause the video, go check your wire right now, and then come back. Next up, we have Roman Anthony, the 2022 second-round pick by the Boston Red Sox. The number 2 prospect in all of baseball, Roman Anthony has been dominating AAA pitching this year. He's been dominant besides 1 week where he's batting $167, but I think as we look back at his career, this will definitely just be an anomaly. On most teams, he would have been given a shot right out of camp, or at least being called up by now, but the Red Sox have a logjam in the outfield. But I'm a firm believer that talent always prevails, and he's just going to force his way onto this major league roster. He set a new career high for hardest hit ball this year, coming in at 113 miles per hour off the bat, all while maintaining an average exit velocity northwards of 99 miles per hour, which is just an absolutely absurd mark. He's striking out at about the same rate that he walks this year, which is perfect, and I think the most insane stat is his barrel rate, which is 38.7%. And just for reference, out of the entire MLB last year, only 2 people had a barrel rate over 20%. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Not bad company to be in. He's part of the big 3 prospects that Boston has, alongside Christian Campbell, who's already been thriving in the majors so far, and then Markello Meyer, who's a name that we're going to be on the watch for in the summer months. He has the potential to be an elite bat in the majors, so you need to go check now, see if he's available, and add him if so, if you have an open NA spot and an open bench spot, because you don't want to be dumping all your fab budget when he gets called up and all your other league mates want him. Later in this video, we're going to be going over our week 2 waiver wire guys, see how they've done so far, see if a punishment's justified. And if you guys are liking this fantasy baseball content, make sure to subscribe below. I'm still trying to get all that street cred I can get. I'm still sending videos to scouts over in Bangkok trying to make the first ever professional Nerf ball team. Next up, we have Nick Kurtz, the 2024 first-round pick by the Athletics. I think it's finally happening. It looks like the Athletics are making spot for him with Brent Rooker vacating the DH spot, and why wouldn't they? He's absolutely dominating the minors. He's batting .348 with 7 home runs and a 1.134 OPS. He's destroying that league like he's a freaking video game character. He has nothing left to prove in AAA, and I think he should have been called up by now. He has elite plate discipline, and he has the ability to just absolutely crush baseballs. A comparison I've seen in the fantasy landscape is like a Matt Olson with much better contact ability, and Matt Olson is a fantasy stud. It's not like he's a defensive liability in the field either, so I don't know why the A's are so insistent on him occupying the DH role when he gets called up, but when he does get called up, once he starts getting played in the field, I think it's going to eliminate any possible platoon roles, because again, he is a solid defensive player, so I think that'll help keep his beastly bat in the lineup. He has all the tools necessary to be a great fantasy contributor, so go grab him off your wire now and stash him before your league mates are all panicking to go get him. Next up, we actually have someone who has a pitcher on Yahoo. It's Jordan Lawlar, the shortstop out of Arizona, and the 2021 6th overall pick. Now, Jordan's prospect status has really diminished over the last couple years because he's had a growing list of injuries, and I get it. If you can't stay healthy, you can't show off that speed, you can't show off that bat contact, and you can't show off that power. But he's healthy right now, and he's been playing great baseball. He's hitting home runs. He's showing off that nice pop in his bat that have fantasy managers drooling over his potential a few years ago. And underneath, he really has a 5-category game that we all love, that we all want in the fantasy community. And I think he just needs to stay healthy and have a good start in the majors. And he's going to be a solid contributor for squads all year long. He has a 42.2% hard hit rate this year, which just backs up that he's seeing the ball great right now. And he's a 403 WOBA. He has that coveted speed power combo that I always bring up in these videos, and I love chasing upside, and he has so much upside. He needs to be closely monitored, and if you have an open NA spot again, open bench spot in deep leagues, I'd consider grabbing him now, hope he gets called up, hope he has a hot start, and I think, again, he can be solid the rest of the year, especially in the summer months, as long as he stays healthy. Now, this is definitely for deep leagues or dynasty leagues that he's floating around on the wire, but we have Evan Carter, the left fielder from Texas. Now, this guy was such a big part in the Rangers World Series run in 2023. He batted over 300, and he was a crucial part in their lineup, and I honestly don't know if the Rangers win it without him. That led him to be like the most popular breakout pick of all of breakout picks in 2024. Managers everywhere had to pay up to get him, and to say he was a disappointment would be an understatement. You could say he's probably one of the biggest busts last year. He batted 188 in 45 games, and then he had a back injury that cost him the final 4 months of the season. I think we can give him somewhat of a pass for the back injury, but unfortunately a lot of those struggles have still came with him in 2025. But let's not forget, he's still just a kid. He's only 23 years old, barely legal to drink in the States. Now, the Rangers definitely aren't going to rush him back until he refines that swing from 2023 that made so many people believe he's going to be a future superstar in the league. And I just won't count out players that are big-time guys that have performances like that on baseball's biggest stage in the World Series. They just don't grow on trees, so I'm not going to write him off yet. We definitely want to use a wait-and-see approach for this guy, see if he can refine that swing, so don't go breaking the bank on him. Don't drop anyone with a heartbeat of value. We want to see how he does, see how he progresses, see if he gets called up and can make a difference in the summer months. So this is purely a luxury stash. If you have an open spot, the potential's there, the upside's there. He's just got to prove it to us again. Okay, now back to some guys that are actually in the show right now. We got Christopher Morel from Tampa Bay. Now, first off, if this guy's even remotely close to some other particular Chris's baseball swing, he is going to be a stud. Like, we've all seen the damage I can do with a foam bat, so like, come on, man. But in all seriousness, I guess I'm a fan of his game because he always seems to make it on my teams over the last few years. He just strikes out way too much. I mean, way too much. If he ever gets his strikeouts under control, he has solid other parts of his game. He has juiced up power and good speed, and he makes decent contact when he's playing well, not striking out, where he's going to get you a lot of doubles or triples. And some of the streaks that this guy goes on that I've been a part of in the last couple years, maybe that's why I like him so much, are insane. He goes through like stretches of 10, 12 games where he's homering 5, 6, 7 times, and he literally looks like the best baseball player on the planet. But then he'll go on a stretch of like 3 for 50 where he strikes out 40 times, and you're just like, who is this guy? He just needs to be more consistent, and I think the move to Tampa Bay is going to help him out a lot in that regard. Tampa Bay is always prone to overlooking one of these real glaring weaknesses like strikeouts, and working with them, getting better at their game, getting better at their craft, and then turning them into an above average hitter. And if we just look at a small sample size of the last 8 games that he started each one because of the DeLuca injury, he's batted .323, 1 home run, 3 doubles, and 5 RBI, which is great, which is playable. Like, that's a useful line for fantasy managers. That's bumped up his overall line to .288, and he's done this all with a 20.2 barrel rate. And again, we talked about that earlier. That is an insane rate for any major leaguer. So it just shows he has the ability to crush baseballs. Again, he's just striking out at a ridiculous clip. Put him on your watch list. He's got great position eligibility in Yahoo, so you won't have any worries about fitting him into your lineup, and see if he can start to make some consistent improvements. Next up, we have David Festa, the starting pitcher from the Minnesota Twins. Mr. Fiesta has 2 strong starts in a row now, Alibi getting an early hook on both of them, so he didn't qualify for a win or a quality start, but he's shown that he's a legitimately talented pitcher, and he has a great 4-pitch arsenal: fastball, slider, changeup, and sinker. He has a ton of strikeout potential and ability to deliver solid ratios. He just needs a longer leash from the Minnesota coaching staff, and I believe that'll eventually come with time. Once he starts qualifying for wins and quality starts, he's going to be a lot more useful from a fantasy perspective, but there's tons of optimism surrounding the 25-year-old for improvement. He already had elite control in the minors, demonstrated by his low walk rate, and the hope is that trend continues in the majors. He's not going to have a sub 2 ERA or anything ridiculous like that. He very easily could have let in 2 and 3 in his last outing, but he didn't, got lucky. But he's a talented pitcher, and he's got a great matchup next time out. He's on against the Chicago White Sox, so you want to grab him in case he has a dominant outing, and a lot more people bring a lot more attention to him. My token relief pitcher this week is Jeremiah Estrada off the Padres. Now, he's been absolutely filthy. In 2024, he mostly pitched the 6 and 7 innings, but he appeared in 62 games, had a 2.95 ERA and 96 strikeouts. He averages 97.2 miles per hour on his 4-seam fastball that has the nastiest rise to it. It actually has the highest vertical ride out of anyone in the MLB. He combines that with a nice slider splitter combo, and all 3 pitches have a positive run value. When he places his pitches just even remotely close to where he wants them, he's unhittable. I mean, legit untouchable. He reminds me a lot of Justin Martinez last year, who has an insane arsenal, untouchable stuff too. He's just buried in the 6th, 7th hole of the innings and wasn't getting a lot of the exposure that you want from your relief pitchers for fantasy. But if your league has holds, I still think he's a good ad because he still should get a decent amount of that, but he's definitely somebody to watch in Dynasty, see if he starts bumping up later into games and eventually takes over that closer spot. Okay, so let's go over some 2-start pitchers real quick. First up, we got Jose Soriano, my boy. Now, I know I've already talked about him lots this video, but he's got 2 good starts, one against Pittsburgh and one against Minnesota. Start him with confidence. Now, in this segment, I'm not going to go over any guys that should be started, regardless if it's a 1-start, 2-start, and regardless of matchup. We're not going to go over all these studs. We're going to go over people that are probably under 50% owned, that are probably floating around on your wire, that you can actually go grab, pick up, and get 2 quality starts. So next up, we have Tyler McGill, who's been fairly solid all year. His first start's against Philly, which obviously isn't ideal, but then he's going to close the week out against Washington. I think he can get a decent amount of strikeouts and hopefully keep those ratios low, and I think he could help a lot of teams out this week. So next up, we have Osvaldo Bido, and he's got 2 solid starts this week, one against Texas and then one against the lowly Chicago White Sox. And he's actually been fairly solid all year. He's going to hopefully keep your ratios low, and he's going to help pad some strikeouts this week. I'd be fairly confident starting him in any weekly lock leagues where you're going to punt saves because he has that relief pitching eligibility. So throw him in there, get 2 good starts out of him, and pump up those Ks. Okay, so it's recap time. It's been 2 weeks since I released that waiver wire video on April 5th. We're not going to spend a lot of time on these guys. We're just going to quickly go over them, see how they've done, and see what rank they've been, and see how big of a beer I got a shotgun or torpedo at the end of this video. The thing with Victor Scott was, all we said is that he needed to get on base at a respectable clip and he was going to dominate steals for you. Well, he didn't really do that. He went 8 for 38 and 3 swipes. Wasn't good, wasn't terrible. I was hoping for a lot better. I still think he'll be helpful for teams over the course of the year. So if he's available in your league, he's definitely somebody to take a look at if you need swipes. The thing we were so excited about with Lars Nootbar was that he claimed the leadoff spot and he's held through with that over the last 2 weeks. His bat has cooled off a little bit since the start of the season. I'm not too worried about it as long as he stays on top of that lineup. He'll get back to having multi-hit games in no time. I still think he's going to be a great player the rest of the season. We are getting so freaking torqued by Spencer Torkelson so far, he's been an absolute stud. He's living up to that #1 draft pick status. He's crushing the ball. He's raised his walk rate. Everything's pointing up for him. I think he's going to be a legit stud the rest of the year. If you grabbed him, congrats, you got a difference maker on your squad. I guess I just have a knack for knowing first baseman because Tyler Soderstrom was arguably better than Spencer Torkelson, which is insane. He had an absurd week, crushing the baseball, doing pretty much everything for the A's, and he's going to be a star, if not a star already. Congrats if you scooped up either of these guys because they look so good. The future looks so bright for both of them, and they're going to be two young rising stars in this league, and I think they're going to be great fantasy contributors all season long. Otto Lopez has been pretty crappy, so I'll take the L for this one for sure. I thought he was going to get better contact going forward, get some more hits, get some more runs, but it doesn't look like it's turned out with him so far. He's definitely got to keep an eye on, but I definitely think we should not be that excited about starting him at all. So Kyren Paris continued to mash, but he's right now mirrored in a 1 for 17 slump. So I'm a little worried about him since there's not a lot of stuff to back up his data in the majors so far. If he continues like this, I'd be scared that he starts getting platooned or starts getting a bunch of off days. So we want to see him snap back out of it, see him connecting with the ball better and swiping bags. But I would temper expectations here for sure. He's definitely not going to be like that guy that we saw at the start of the season, mashing the cover off the baseball. For Jordan Walker, I'm still high on Walker. I still believe in Walker. I think he's starting to turn a corner. I know a lot of people might not agree with that and might be abandoning ship. So if so, that's okay. But definitely keep him on your roster if you can. I believe in young talent, and I think he can turn it around, and I think he'll be a good player the rest of the season. Let's just give him a shot. So Kris Bubic continued with 2 great starts, but then he ran into the Yankees, and like the Yankees have been doing to everybody this year, he sort of got roughed up by them. I still believe in all his stuff. His arsenal looked great. His fastball looked great. Keep rolling him into your lineup, especially if you're punting saves. He's going to be great all year long. I just worry about his workload near the end of the year since he hasn't pitched pretty much a full season ever. But that's a problem that we can address later on in the season if it looks like his innings are going to start to get managed. I think Jose had 2 great starts. Now, one on paper looks way better than the other against Tampa Bay going 7 2/3, and the other against Texas only making it 5 1/3. But really, he only had 1 bad inning against Texas there in the 2nd inning. But besides that, he shut them down completely, and it's actually a better overall line than it looks at the end of the day. I think Jose could be someone that could be a solid starter, like a 3 or a 4 starting pitcher for teams throughout the year. And I think he has potential to be a lot better than that. He's definitely somebody to keep on your roster or keep your eye on. We definitely highlighted some difference makers like we're shooting out for in that video, but there's also some L's. So definitely take the L on Otto Lopez and probably Kyren Paris. All right, even though there were some absolute studs in that waiver wire video, we're going to have a punishment here for those 2 guys that I highlighted. And I don't know, maybe just I'm thirsty. Who knows? Let's go. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the inspirational quote or the inspirational thought of the day, so here it is right quick. Why do hot dogs come in packs of 10, but hot dog buns come in packs of 8? Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy, and I'll see you next week.